The Toronto Raptors have tricked the NBA because they said after the Brandon Ingram trade that this team was bad. This was a mid-team. They weren't going to be any better than the play-in, and yet here we are. They're 9-5. They've got a top 10 offense and a top 11 defense. They play at one of the fastest paces in the league, leading the NBA in transition scoring. And after getting off to a really bad 1-4 start, it looked like the consensus was correct. But they've gone 8-1 since Halloween and are now third in the East. And I really love what Darko Rakovic and this Raptors coaching staff is doing with their big three, and then also Emmanuel Quickley. You can throw him into there. They just have a ton of depth, a bunch of different guys. I mean, they legitimately go 10 deep, and that's without playing Jacoby Walter or Ochai Agbaji. Scotty Barnes has been fantastic so far this year. I mean, he's a big-time mismatch. They try to put Knipple on him here, and that's just a terrible idea. Pat Connaughton shows a little bit of a stunt and then goes away, and Scotty Barnes just gets straight to work backing Knipple down under the rim. Then Miles Bridges, they throw him on him. He tries to go under the screen, coming off this Pirtle screen, and again, probably the correct scouting report, but a simple ball fake gets LaMelo Ball all confused, and then he just knocks down the mid-range from the free throw line, essentially. He finished with 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks in 33 minutes. Shot 8 of 16 from the field. Not his best performance this year, but he has been pretty steady and pretty solid, and he came up clutch when it mattered late in the game, and we'll talk about that in a second. But right here, the passing is this is the most Scotty Barnes pass you'll ever see in your life. 19.1 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, 5.6 assists, and 3.2 stocks. Keep that in mind. And oh, by the way, he's shooting 50% from the field and 40% from three. The best by far of his career, efficiency-wise. He's knocking down mid-ranges with regularity. He's getting out in transition and running the early post up here on Zion James, and then finds Jakob Poeltl rolling to the rim, and then getting out in transition once again against Kalkbrenner, taking him right to the rim and finishing with the left. He's averaging 6.4 points per game in transition, and this is the number one duo in the NBA in transition when it comes to points per game. They're averaging together nearly 14 points per game, and the Raptors are the number one team in transition in all of basketball, averaging 22 a game in transition alone, which is a big key to why they are winning games as of late. Now, this is a big bucket. With a minute left, he's just going to take Miles Bridges down to the post, bully him, and then dunk on him. And then final play of the game, he's going to come in and get the clutch block against Colin Sexton. They'd call a no foul, and as a Hornets fan, a little bit upset, but it's whatever. That was a clean block. Brandon Ingram had it out for Ryan Kalkbrenner last night, and I'm really loving what Rakovic is doing with Brandon Ingram here, getting him into one-on-one pick-and-roll situations where he can get a guy like Zion James on his back, and once you're on Brandon Ingram's back, you're cooked. Unfortunately, also your center was cooked in that situation. Then coming off a little pin down here from Jakob Poeltl. Kalkbrenner is a slower-footed big, so we're going to get Miles Bridges caught up in this pin down, although Miles Bridges does a pretty good job running straight through it. Doesn't matter. He's too late now. That Brandon Ingram mid-range fadeaway is pretty much unguardable because he shoots it from the top of his head, Larry Bird style. Then stepping into a three here, he finished with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Doing it on both ends of the ball. Only 9 of 21 from the field, but that is all right. 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Trying to bring that three-point percentage up, as it has been down as of late, and then getting into the mid-range. Like I said, his mid-range is pretty unguardable. Still knocking down the 3 ball. He's averaging 21 a game on the year with 6 rebounds and 4 assists, as well as a steal in 33 minutes, shooting 49% from the field. But like I said, only 28% from 3. And he hasn't been a great three-point shooter throughout his career, but he's been better than 28%. I believe he shot 37% from 3 on like 6 attempts last year. This is a tough bucket. I mean, they're going to throw 2 at him, and he's still going to little ball fake, fade away baseline, money. And then right here, coming off the pick and roll, refuses the screen, and for the second time, punches on Ryan Kalkbrenner. And then just take a look at the gravity he produces here. Great seal by Jakob Poeltl, but LaMelo's going to come on the double, Khan's going to stay on quickly, and then RJ's just going to cut right in front of Miles Bridges, who kind of has to take away Poeltl, but at the same time, he's got to play both in RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes, and RJ finishes right at the rim. Great pass by BI, and then getting one of the 2 game-saving blocks last night for Toronto. Now, speaking about RJ Barrett, he has been really good this year as well. Like I said, the big three, all three of them combining for about 60 points per game. That's their offensive engine. He put up 16 points last night with 3 rebounds and 3 assists, as well as a steal in 32 minutes, shooting 7 of 16 from the field and 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. His efficiency hasn't quite been where we want it to be so far this year, but I mean, that's bully ball right there against LaMelo Ball. And then I really love what Darko Rakovic does right here, using the little split action here with Emmanuel Quickley, setting the dribble handoff kind of ball screen to get him going downhill on LaMelo Ball. And like we said, that's bully ball. Then out in transition, like we talked about earlier, the #1 team in transition this year, and RJ is leading him in transition scoring, averaging 7 a game on about 5.8 possessions so far through 14 games played. I believe he's about 6th in the league in transition scoring. 19.1 points a game on the year, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal in 32 minutes. Like I said, the 3-point efficiency is not quite where you'd like it to be, but it can get better, and you will definitely take 50% from the field all day long, as well as him being able to navigate the pick and roll. Now, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to the like button and hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, 93% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. If that's you, go ahead and fix that as we transition over to Emmanuel Quickley, who is a very underrated 4th scoring option in the league. I mean, if you got Emmanuel Quickley as your number 4 option, that's a pretty deep offense, and he's averaging 16 and 6 this year with about 5 rebounds, 1.3 steals, shooting 47% from the field and 38% from 3 on 6.3 attempts per game. His most efficient season of his career, I'd say pretty easily, because he's never been shooting this well from the field. Quick trigger there on the 3-pointer, finished with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, as well as grabbing a couple steals last night in 31 minutes with 6 of 11 from the field and 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. The floater game is still there, as you can see, coming off the pick and roll here. LaMelo is a little bit caught up in this Pirtle screen because he doesn't quite know which way Quickley is going. Pirtle's a good screener as well. 1 foot inside the paint and get straight to that floater. And then same thing right here. In transition, gonna get downhill, stop quick in front of Kalkbrenner, and hit the floater. Jakob Poeltl has been really solid as a big this year for the Raptors so far. A little ball fake and then finishing with the left hand. And then right here, Scotty Barnes goes down and gets it, and Poeltl comes out with the 2 points. 11.3 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and 1.2 stocks in 25 minutes, shooting 73% from the field. Now, he's not an elite big, right? He's not going to go out there and get you 20 a night, but he doesn't have to, because right now he's the number 5 option in this offense, and usually at all times when he's on the court, he's probably the 5th best option out there. Jamal Shead has been really good, finding Poeltl right here on the roll. Just a really solid backup point guard overall, getting downhill, moving Colin Sexton out of the way with the big boy body. Just an average Hornets play here. We get the back tap, but it goes straight to Grady Dick, and Grady Dick was pretty solid last night, although his role has very much so diminished. He's only playing 16 minutes a game, averaging 8 and 2 with 0.6 assists, shooting 43% from the field and 36% from 3 on 3.5 attempts. Hopefully he, can get it together, shoot 40% from 3 at the least. It's still only a 14-game sample size, so still very early on in the season. Mamu has been really good so far for this Raptors team. You can't understate how good he's been. Barnes finding him right here under the rim, and then a little one-on-one isolation with the mismatch here in Colin Sexton, and that's baby food for Mamu. Colin Murray-Boyles has also been really solid. I was very skeptical of that number 9 overall pick, but it's worked out so far for Toronto kind of as a small ball 5, and the ways they are using him defensively. And then Jacoby Walter, we haven't even really got to see him or, like I said, Ochai Agbaji much earlier in the video, and it's still working out for Toronto. They are so deep. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.